Hey friends, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Welcome back to the channel. We're talking about more car camping gear items today, and specifically the ICECO GO20 12 volt fridge that is ideal for weekend car camping trips or just adventuring out of your car. And so the ICECO GO20 is a very small 12 volt fridge in comparison to a lot of other options out there on the market. Now, previously on the channel, I reviewed the ICECO JP30, which is a 30 quart sized fridge. This is a 20-ish quart sized fridge, so a little bit smaller, but not a much smaller footprint than the JP30. For somebody like me, who's got a growing family at home, I wanted something that is a little bit better sized for just quick weekend trips, or if I'm going out on a backpacking trip, I take this with me, put it in the back of the Jeep, and I put cold drinks or snacks and things in here, so when I get back from a hot summer trip out in the backcountry, I can open a cold drink and enjoy that as I take my pack off and get cleaned up at the trailhead. One of the things you might be thinking is, dude, you're going out on a weekend trip, just take a cooler. Well, the problem with a cooler is you have to manage ice with a cooler. In the concept of, I want to keep things consistently cold for an extended period of time, this is the way to go. Now, talking about specs and features of the ICECO GO20, this comes in at a price tag of $450 from the ICECO website. It has a dimension of 22 inches long, 13 wide, and 13 tall, plus or minus a little bit there. But it's perfect for somebody like me. I've got a small Jeep with just a compact size SUV, and this fits perfectly like on its side in the back of my Jeep, and I've got the ability to open this lid up super easy, and it doesn't take up a massive amount of space. Now, this fridge primarily runs off of a 12 volt input, so your DC input, and so you're going to run that into a battery generator to be able to power the fridge, but you do also have the option of, and this comes with the fridge, a AC adapter that lets you plug this into an AC outlet at home, or if you have an AC outlet of sorts like in a camper trailer or that kind of thing, this provides you that option to be able to run an AC into an adapter and then into the fridge. Now, this also has a 3-stage battery protection, meaning that whatever you set the battery protection stage at, it's going to essentially shut down the unit when you have a reduction in battery power. The weight of the unit is about 26 pounds, and when this is running the compressor, which is a Danfoss, really high quality compressor, and as I've understood and researched and spent time trying to figure out what really makes a fridge a good fridge, honestly, a lot of it comes down to the compressor that is used in the unit. And for a $450 price tag, this is a highly efficient unit that uses a really nice compressor that has a 5-year warranty. It's a really good value for what ICECO is put together here to give you something that is going to be efficient when you're out there in the backcountry, and it's going to be reliable for you as well. Now, speaking of efficiency, this unit draws about 30 to 50 watts of power from whatever it is plugged into at the time. And so when I'm using a battery generator like I've got here, this is a 800 watt battery generator that allows me to run this fridge for a full weekend essentially without having to charge this necessarily. Now, the other thing that makes this unit unique from other fridges that are this size is this is actually a dual zone fridge freezer. So got a divider here that allows me to basically divide a freezer section here on this side, which is pretty small in fact, and then a fridge so I can have different temperature settings when I've got that divider inside of the fridge. So one of the things that I've noticed from my experience of using the GO20 is it does not seem to be as insulated or quite as efficient as keeping the temperature regulated as some other options out there. This is a smaller unit. It's not going to have as much insulation, especially here on the top. When this thing is really going, I can put my hand here on the lid and feel quite a bit of cold. So I know that it is losing a lot of the cold in here. And so if this was insulated a little bit better, I think, then you would have something that'd be more efficient. It would use less power and that kind of thing. The display of the temperature on here as well, when you are setting this, is a little bit finicky in my opinion. Now you've got a lockout on here that automatically over time it locks out, and you have to push and hold on this touch screen display or touch sensitive, and then you're able to adjust your setting for the temperature and everything for what you want this to cool to. But I have noticed from putting a thermometer in here that it is anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees different inside the unit than it is on what the display is showing. So it is showing colder on the display than it actually is with the fridge inside. And so know that ahead of time, that it's not identical to, if I set this at 28 degrees, it's going to be 28 degrees inside of the fridge. The other thing that I do really love about this fridge is the direction of how the lid opens. It doesn't open this way. Move that. It doesn't open this way. It opens on more of this direction here that just makes it for easier access. Your door height to open it is not quite as large as my JP30, but the thing that I don't like is there's no audible click for me to hear that this has closed all of the way, and whether that is just a flaw of my particular unit or if that's just how this design is, that's fine. But you do have a nice seal around here that is really tight, so I know that the fridge is getting a good seal, and if I try to open it, yeah, it is latched all the way, but it doesn't have that audible click that I would like to hear when closing the fridge. And then lastly, for the cons of this particular fridge is it's not very tall, about 13 inches of the outside dimension, and it's even shorter for the inside. So I cannot put very tall bottles standing upright inside of the fridge. And especially if I'm using the divider with the dual zone, then I've got even less space for the fridge specific side. And so, yeah, I primarily use this unit for the fridge only. I take the divider out and I don't even use that for the freezer section. I just use it as a fridge for the entire size of it. And if I've got taller bottles, like a 1 liter size water bottle, has to lay on its side here inside of the fridge. Now overall, I love this thing. I've been very impressed with it. I've been very happy with it in its specific use case of a small fridge. Yes, it is efficient. It does have some of its quirks, but I like that I'm able to have something that provides good cooling, that is efficient, and it's not super loud either. Like this entire time, pretty much the compressor has been running and you cannot hear it. It's like less than 45 decibels of noise, and that's not loud, especially in the back of my Jeep. Can't even hear it when it's running. And so really enjoy that aspect of it. I love the color and the finish of it, even though over time it's starting to get pretty scratched up. Now, in the sense of using this for a weekend or a picnic, you've got the option as well of using different types of battery generators, power banks and whatnot. This is a small battery bank that you can get from ICECO that is super nice to have in the application that you're using this for. Maybe going out for a picnic at the park for the day and you want to take this with you. This is going to be enough juice for you to be out at the lake or a picnic or some kind of thing, or even just as a backup type of option for in the event that this stopped working and you don't want to run the unit overnight, or you can't run your unit directly from your car because when you turn the ignition off, the 12 volt dies and whatnot in your vehicle, you don't have the power. So that's a good option that is a nice addition to this particular unit that doesn't draw a massive amount of power and everything. So small battery bank, small fridge, it's a good pairing for that specifically. So there you go, guys. That is my review and my experience with the ICECO GO20 12-volt fridge. Thank you for watching today. If you are not subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.